Sometimes we get a math question on SAT that seems impossible by classroom standards to solve, and test 7, section 3, number 15 is one of them. Number 15 reads, the expression 1/3 x squared minus 2 could be written as 1/3 x minus k times x plus k, where k is a positive constant. What's the value of k? First of all, don't get confused by constant. You're going to solve for constants the same way you solve for variables. So I'm just going to rewrite that. If it can be written as that, then I could set it equal to that. It's just a funny way to say equals. So once we write it, now your classroom brain is telling you this. Well, you can't solve it. There's too many variables. You've got one equation but two variables. Ordinarily, we can't solve this. But on SAT, when you get that situation, what you got to do is you got to get the side of the equal sign to look alike. Then you got to set the parts equal to each other. Now I'm going to tell you straight away, if you got this question wrong and had an idea of what you're doing, then you chose C. C is hands down the most common wrong answer here, because what students do is they're like, hey, when you multiply the k and the k over here, you get k squared, and that corresponds with your -2. You get negative k squared equals -2, so k equals square root of 2. But I'm going to show you exactly why that's wrong. So first off, we're going to take these one at a time. I'm just going to copy the left side. 1/3 x squared minus 2 equals 1/3, and all I'm going to do is FOIL the right side of that equation. And so in FOILing we get x squared, and then the insides and outsides are going to cancel. I'll write them out because I know that some of you are fine without them being written out, but some of you may not be. So here it's actually a minus. I wrote xk. You'll probably write kx, which is fine. It's the same thing. And so there you've got it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to combine these middle two terms. So x squared, negative xk plus xk, those are going to cancel, and you get x squared minus k squared. You don't have to write that step at all if you are well versed with difference of squares there. So we've got 1/3 x squared minus 2 equals 1/3 times a quantity x squared minus k squared. So you've got to make sure on this right side that you distribute the 1/3. 1/3 x squared minus 1/3 k squared. And the left side I'm just going to copy as is. And now notice, this one you could solve algebraically straight away. But a lot of times when you've got too many variables in an equation, what you've got to do is you've got to set the parts equal to each other. This one you could straight solve if you subtracted 1/3 x squared from both sides. That would cancel. That would cancel. You get -2 equals -1/3 k squared. So anytime you have a fraction attached to a variable, what you want to do is multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of this is going to be -3. So if I multiply both sides by -3, what I get is 6 equals, and then you get negative times negative is positive, 3 over 3 would cancel. You can just cancel the top and the bottom if you know how to do that. So 6 equals k squared, and then you take the square root of both sides, and k equals 6. So that is square root of 6. So that is your correct answer, D. I didn't put the square root there. Yeah. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You could share it with someone who has difficulty with this type of question where there's too many variables in a quadratic, a higher power. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. And click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Have a great day.